Well, it's back on the road this week for the John Tyler Lions as they play at Nachodoches coming up on Friday night at Dragon Stadium, following a home victory this past Friday night as the Lions defeated the Jacksonville Indians. I forgot the score for a moment, 59-7. It was definitely a resounding victory for the Lions, who stay undefeated in district play. Coach Ricklan, Holmes, is with us. First of all, you hadn't been home in a month, so it was nice to be at the stadium. I know you injured one of our camera guys with the on the big screen down there. There was guys running everywhere, a lot of yards. There were a lot of big plays in that game.
Most definitely. For all the fans out there, the camera guy's all right.
He's okay, right?
He's doing just fine. He got kind of banged up, kind of like, an injured player, but he got back up and he got back to his job.
And Greg picked him up, right?
Greg picked him up. That just lets you know what kind of player he is.
Coach Story, I believe.
I had soccer coach.
Head soccer coach. Okay, all right.
Great game. Offense, defense, special teams. Everything was clicking on all cylinders. Just goes back to you play the way that you practice. Had another good week of practice, and we came to the game prepared to win.
You've been adding stuff going along. We've been having some fun with that. You've been adding little wrinkles here and there. What'd you add this week for that game?
Just basically the defensive scheme that we ran. We took a lineman out of the game and added another defensive back to the game.
Okay.
Just basically, going in, adding things so that we can get prepared for different types of team that we're going to be facing later on down the road. And offensively, throwing a couple plays here and there. And a lot of the stuff that, we thought was going to be successful was successful.
Did you run the toss this week?
No, we didn't run the toss this week. You would have known if we ran the toss this week. I promise you. I promise you.
We've had a lot of fun with that. Coach Holmes played for Allen Wilson when what is now the bubble screen pass used to be the toss sweep.
Yes.
It's the same play, basically, right?
Same play.
It's just called a pass play instead of a run play.
Now instead of a run play. That's about it.
But see, I've been lobbying for 3 weeks now to put the toss back in occasionally.
Yeah. Well, you like I said, just stay tuned and you'll check it out, and when you sit back and you see, you be like, oh, he did say that was going to happen. So, it's a lot of things that we've been working on. Coach Bush, he's been doing a great job with those kids, getting the game plan together, making sure that they understand what we need to do. And then on the defensive side of the ball with our veteran defensive coordinator, Barry Anderson, he's been doing a great job with those kids. Kids are having a lot of fun over there.
Yeah.
Just playing football and knowing that, the things that they'll be doing week in and week out, it's not going to be something that's going to take a toll on their brain, but, just the physical part of it. And just making sure they understand having fun and just enjoying the game.
And the big difference that I see, again, we've talked about this from last year. Last year's team would have scored their 59 points, but the opposition might have scored 30.
Yeah.
And they only got 7. You've thrown 2 shutouts. And then you only gave up 7 points this week, so really can't say enough good things about what your defense has done, right?
That's most definitely. And if you look back at the games that we gave up the points on, it wasn't against our first group. So really our first group has pretty much been given shutout games for district. But, as the score shows, we didn't. And, that even though it was our second team defense and not our first team defense, still John Tyler High School that got scored on. So, with the way that those kids are playing, having fun, understanding what they need to do week in and week out. And it starts in practice. Yeah, they practice from the start all the way to the finish. On Mondays is basically our learning days, and they're in tune with the film, they're in tune with the whiteboard, and they're understanding what they're drawing up there, they're understanding what they have to do, and then it transfers over to the field, that first practice, that evening practice. And as you can see, these first games that we went through in district, they've been playing outstanding, but they've been building up to that point too, also going through the preseason.
You guys have one of the neatest practice fields that I've seen. You can't see it from the road. It sits off on the back side of the campus down in a hole called the pit.
It's called the pit, and it is no man's land down there. If you notice that when the wind blows, it blows right over the top of your head because of that hill. And, it's more of a mental state being down there, away from everything, not being able to know what's going on around you. And then, in
you get a lot of work
the heat
down
time,
there, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's real humid down there. So it takes your focus and it makes it be more in tune to what you're doing, because you can't worry about the heat, you can't worry about the mosquitoes, you can't worry about the stick bug.
Some big mosquitoes down there too.
Yeah, you got to worry about what you need to do.
Yeah.
And it's just like in the game when the crowd is cheering and the band is playing and the offense or the defense is on the field, and you need to make a big stop, or you need to make a big score, or you need to be focused on that big stop. You need to be focused on that big score, and that's what the pit does for us.
Yeah, there's been a lot of blood, sweat, and tears left down in that hole over the years.
Most definitely. And as we go into the season, we're gonna practice less and less time out there. You know, basically start working up towards the top field,
right?
And making sure that we're getting ready to do the things we need to do to win some games.
And that thing's been there. I mean, I went to high school. That sucker's been there since, you know,
the 80s.
A long time.
A long time. That field was down there before they even built the tennis courts right there. So it's been there a long time.
All right, so that, you know, it's an atmosphere, though, that allows you to get a lot of work done. You were able to also, the last 2 or 3 weeks, a lot of young guys have had a chance to play. That's kind of looking ahead to maybe if you need them later this year, but especially next year.
Especially for next year, just getting them in the show early, letting them understand, you know, what they need to do and how to expect the pace of the game, the crowd, the momentum change and stuff like that. Just getting them out there so they won't be gunshot next year.
All right, who played well to start offense? I mean, who really stood out? Obviously, Greg Ward would have to top.
Oh, most definitely, right? Greg. You know, he's done an outstanding job once again at the quarterback position. The running back play has continuously been the way it's supposed to be with DeQuante and Reggie back there. Wide receivers, you just can't say enough about, you know, Darren Flowers, Justice Liggins, and Ross, and also Jeremy Wilson, another young guy that's been playing a lot. You know, those guys right there, they do an outstanding job getting open, having a great target for Greg to throw to. And then the offensive line play has gotten better. You know, we had a couple of hiccups here and there during the course of the game, but they got corrected. And those kids right there, they're getting better and better each week. And that's what they're supposed to be doing. And they're starting to understand why I've been so rough on them, you know, these last couple of weeks. And just making sure that they understand that, you know, nothing goes right unless they get their job done. You know, Greg can't get touched, and we got to open up some holes for the running back. So they understand that is what they need to do. Defensively, Tyus Bowser, he's just turned into a man-child. You know, he's one of those guys defensively at that position that can be a game changer. You know, the relentless rush that he gives after a quarterback, the way that he attacks the ball carriers coming off the edge, with his presence and his size. He basically puts a little fear in quarterbacks and offensive coordinators, you know, and he understands that he can do that every time. And just him getting to that point to where he knows that, you know, this is what I can do and this is what I'm good at, it makes us that much better on defense. Then the secondary play, those guys back there, you know, they're ball hawks once again. You know, the ball's in there, they think it's theirs, and that's the way that they're playing. And the linebacker, you know, you talk about Richard Gibson, a true Mike backer that's getting the job done. He's doing it week in and week out, and he's doing an outstanding job getting our defense together, making sure that we lined up and doing the things that we need to do. And then up front, you got 28 and 29. That's what I call them. Chris Mobley and DeAndre Miller. They're doing exactly what they're supposed to do. You know, they're like the offensive line on the defensive side of the ball. They got to protect the linebackers. They got to protect the gaps, and that's what they're doing.
All right, we're going to talk more about all of that, but right now let's roll some tape and take a look at some video from the win on Friday night at Trinity Mother Frances Rose Stadium over the Jacksonville Indians, and we open up with you on offense.
A little swing pass right here to DeQuante, and he does a great job. They said he got down on the 2-yard line right there. They say he didn't quite make it to the end zone. Knee went down before the ball crossed. So.
And again, you made a position switch. He's now playing slot receiver, but he's coming out of the backfield here, right?
He's the running back.
Running back. Or Gibson's playing the slot.
Yeah,
I get
Gibson
it mixed up. Okay. And DeQuante plays rarely leaves the field. He's playing on defense
he also plays linebacker. So he's a two-way guy. He's getting the job done.
Now here you see the end zone view of it.
Just making some people miss, getting that extra yardage after the contact, and That's what you want to see out of a guy that has a ball in his hand.
Got some blocking from the receivers on the edge
Yes,
there
sir,
too,
most
didn't you?
definitely.
This the same series?
No, yes, it's the same series. This is where we got stopped at it. Then we end up giving it to Fred, and he goes up the left side and into the end zone.
Yeah, it's an interesting form. You got Fred lined up in the backfield there.
Yes.
What do you call that?
That's
Diamond?
the diamond because you don't have Miller and Mobley, and Miller and Mobley makes the jumbo package. That's more of your, line up, and I'm gonna, pretty much run it down your throat type of formation.
All right, here back on offense, new series, right?
Yes, sir. Set up, making some things happen with his feet, getting out, getting some positive yardage out of a negative, and almost making his way to the end zone.
Now you can't coach that.
No, that's what you call just talent. And knowing what to do with the ball in your hand.
I mean, they've got him here.
Yeah, they had him bottled up, making some people miss with his feet, and getting into the open field and using his speed to get down there close to the end zone.
Well, this is the best look at it to see what he does here. And watch what he does with his cornerback on the edge once he gets into the open field.
As the kids would say, he gave him one of those ooh-wees.
Is that what they say?
Yeah.
There you go. And the only reason he didn't score is he ran out of room.
Yeah.
The sideline tackled him, basically.
Sideline got him. They gave him the number 55, another ooh-wee right there sitting in the hole. He kind of had that deer headlight look in his eyes, like, do I tackle him? Oh, nope, can't get him.
All right. But again, on that touchdown, you had a good block, and you'll see it on the edge by one of your wide receivers here.
Yeah, sealing it off.
Yeah, right there.
Getting the guy, just that little crease right there to get in the end zone.
You don't have to pancake the guy, just seal it off, right?
Just getting away, getting away. Interception right here. Elliott Hart.
By the way, you've got two former John Tyler players starting in college secondaries. Tristan Wade at UT San Antonio, Chris Hackett at TCU right now.
Yes, sir. And both of those guys.
Is there any more? Am I overlooking somebody?
Darian Starling.
They're starting at UTSA
he
too, right?
UTSA also.
So that's three. Am I overlooking? I don't think I missed anybody, am I?
Javalis Hurd that plays at Marion Hardin Baylor. He's starting there.
He's starting there, okay.
And you got Jeremy Lane that's making a couple plays at Seattle.
Seattle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
But again, that turnover gave you the ball back.
Gave us the ball back in good field position, great field position. Start out. Little fade up play right here to Justice Liggins, using his speed, using his athletic ability, and getting open. Had a little man coverage on our receivers, during the course of this game. And we just kind of found a mismatch on the edge and used it to our advantage.
And the colleges are starting to notice him, are they not?
Yes, most definitely. I mean, he has an offer on the table right now from Wyoming.
Does he?
Yes.
Their recruiter, they have, they've Chad Reese from Robert E. Lee's up there now. Who's their recruiter here?
I forgot the guy, young man's name.
But he has Texas ties, I guess,
yes, right? He does have Texas ties, and this is his area.
And he likes East Texas too, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
Well, good for him. He's smart. Smart way to be. That's a long way from home.
This is Reggie out the backfield, showing that speed. And outrunning one of the faster players on the Jacksonville team, number 28.
Well, that was again, you'll see it again here, but that was a 74-yard touchdown run. And here he goes again.
And Reggie is one of the faster kids on our team. He's a 4.4 guy and great track runner also.
Not very big, but he's fast, isn't he?
Yeah. Actually, he's gotten bigger since last year. That was one of the deals coming into this season was his durability. Him having to get in the weight room and get a little size up under his belt. And he did that.
Very impressive. Now look at the defense. Here's Bowser.
Bowser on the pursuit.
that move, what he just did, you're seeing that more and more. It's not enough just to sack the guy, but you want to also swim him and try to knock the ball out, right?
Secure the tackle and cause a turnover.
Yeah, because you get a good look at it here. I mean, he's going after the quarterback, but he's also, and he will strip the football.
Yeah.
Now, it goes out of bounds.
If it didn't go out of bounds, it would have been a fumble for us. It's Tyus on the sack. Now he's coming out the left edge.
He still hasn't verbally committed, has he?
Still hasn't verbally committed to anybody. He has several offers from some big schools, but he hadn't.
Is your alma mater one of them?
No, not yet. I'm still waiting on them.
Oklahoma State. You can't call up there and get them to, talk Gundy into going on ahead.
Yeah. Well, they said they already got one good defensive end from us. I told them they need to get the other one.
Yeah, who's up there right now?
Eric Davis.
Oh, Eric Davis. That's right, Eric. Yeah. Well, that's okay.
Great pass play right here to Darren Flowers, and
Yep.
he gets into the end zone.
Well, when Texas won the 05 national championship, they had 3 starters from John Tyler on that team, on their defense.
Yeah.
So why couldn't Oklahoma State have 2 or 3?
That's what they should.
That's
what they should.
I mean, I'm just sitting here, I'm just saying. I mean, so they've got 2 JT lines on.
Well, I told them, you need to come get the other one, too. And I told them I got some more that they can come get also.
Darian Flowers, that's the end zone look at it. And he's being recruited.
Yes, he is. He's being recruited also, yeah. All these guys they're all going to have that opportunity as long as they continue to keep their grades the way they are. And their test scores continue to improve. They're going to have a great opportunity to go and play at the next level. And I tell our kids all the time, there's a university, there's a college, there's a junior college for everybody to go play at. You just have to be willing to go and take that opportunity.
Now, did y'all recover? Did you recover that fumble?
I don't think we got this one back.
And on this play, who causes this fumble? Is this a Bowser again?
Yeah, I think this is Bowser getting back there once again. Yep.
Good grief.
Yeah, he had several sacks last Friday. So he's most definitely putting in some work. A little pitch and catch right here to Fred Ross. Finding the open hole and giving a target for Greg to throw through.
This third quarter stuff here, now he was obviously wide open, but the quarterback has to also be able to make that quick decision and see him too.
I mean, his progressive reading process is amazing. And that comes with the long hours and work that him and Coach Bush have put in together to make sure that he understands what he needs to do to make that offense run the way that it runs. That's another cause fumble by Jamarcus Warren, another young guy, older guy, new to the program that's getting some playing time this year.
Where did Jamarcus come from?
He was at John Tyler. He was one of those kids that kind of been in and out the program, and he finally decided his senior year that he wanted to start doing things the way he's supposed to. And he's been successful out there.
Oh, he made the play. Now we're in the fourth quarter now, I believe.
And now you have Tyus at quarterback. That's another young guy that we have, sophomore, Nick Kane.
Now this one didn't stand up though, right? There was a penalty, is that right?
I got down. I don't know if this one came back or not.
I wasn't sure. I saw a penalty flag fly. Let's see if they were offside.
No, this was offsides on the offense. I mean, the defense is what it was.
Okay. Yep, there you go. Okay, I see it right there. Okay.
It stands.
So this stood. And Nick is just a sophomore.
He is a sophomore. Great speed kid. He's one of the other sophomores. Him, Jeremy Wilson, Teddy Attaway, Dustin Smith, Rodney Bendy. Those sophomores are getting a lot of playing time.
Now, there's a chance Nick will be competing for your quarterback job next year, right?
Yeah, it's going. We have several quarterbacks that we're going to be looking at during the spring, and he's one of them. The other one is on the JV level, and he's having an outstanding season at the JV level. He's getting a lot of reps in. He's understanding the process of the offense. Little run by DeJuan Brooks, another senior, getting some playing time. Couldn't quite make it to the end zone.
Oh, shoot. It's all right. Big run.
Couldn't quite make it to the end zone. But all in all, it was a great run.
Yeah, that was a nice, very nice run. And you may need him playoff time.
That's
That
right.
depth is what.
Depth is what you're going to need because it's a long road to Cowboy Stadium. And it goes by fast.
Mm-hmm.
So I tell these seniors all the time, everything that you do is your very last thing that you're going to do.
Right.
You know, it's the very last time they're going to play Jacksonville as a senior, you know.
Well, you're hoping to have 8 more ball games.
Yeah. I'm just talking about just everything that they do from now on out is their very last deal.
Very last, right.
Very last homecoming.
Including their last,
in.
Here in 2 weeks, they'll have their last home game. And that's going to be a big game, by the way. We'll talk about that later. But that White House game is going to be pretty big, isn't it?
It'll be a big game, but we got to take care of Nachodoches first.
Good. Here's the end zone view.
There's Rod Smith, another senior, getting some playing time. And, you know, that depth in the backfield with those guys and the other guys that you throw into the mix.
Right.
You know, with DeQuante starting and Reggie coming back there. You also have Wilson that can go back there. So, you know, with those guys right there, it does some good things for us.
Is this the most depth you've had in recent years, you think?
Pretty much so, you know, at all positions.
Right.
Not, you know.
That was always a concern.
That was always a concern. But that comes with not letting the kids go both ways. You create depth when you have kids go both ways. And some of them start both ways, some of them are backups both ways. But just by having them be able to know several positions, it creates depth within depth.
What are the numbers in the program like? You said the year began, you'd had the most number of kids, senior through freshman, that you'd had in all the years you'd been at John.
Yeah, most definitely. I think we have about 75, that's with the freshmen now. You have about 68 or 70, that's with the JV.
Okay.
And then I only carry 48 with the varsity right now.
Okay.
And that number would only go to 53 if I had 53 to carry, and all the rest of them would go to JV.
Is it even more? I mean, did y'all have these kind of numbers in the 90s? Or is this more even than you had in the 90s?
For the freshman level, probably.
Yeah.
You know, with varsity, varsity and JV is pretty much about the same.
Yeah.
But we have a huge freshman class this year. And, you know, when you start out with a lot, you think that they'll dwindle down. They really haven't dwindled down this year. A lot of the kids are stuck in there, and they stuck with it.
Well, and that's a product of winning. They want to be a part of that
they
too,
want to be a
right?
part of the winning process. And everybody wants to be, playing with that blue jersey on, that blue helmet on Fridays.
Absolutely, it does, and that's and again, that's just that success breeds success. People want to be a part of it. All the community. I mean, I know you've got you're getting down to the end of the regular season now. And there's a lot of excitement. How do you temper all of that and keep these guys focused on the task at hand?
Making sure that we beat John Tyler High School every week. That's all that we're focused on. We're not focused on our opponent. Yeah, we want to understand what they do offensively, defensively, and special teams, but we got to beat us every week. And as long as we continue to stay focused on beating John Tyler High School, our season will turn out the way
What do you
that we
mean when
want
you
it.
say beating John Tyler High School?
When we faced Jacksonville, okay, we wasn't out there Friday trying to beat Jacksonville. We was out there Friday trying to beat John Tyler on offense, defense, and special teams. We want to beat ourselves because if we don't beat us, then we can't beat anybody else.
Okay.
And if we defeat us, then we gonna get beat by everybody else. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you got to go out there with that mind frame of facing the faceless team. You know, the team that has no face, the team that has no name.
Just another jersey
you're going
color,
against
right?
yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. NAC this week, they haven't had much success this year.
Yeah.
It'd be real easy to overlook them, right?
No, it's not because you're still facing John Tyler.
Okay. All right.
So it makes everything stay consistent because if we think that we're the best, you're always going to have to play the best. And no matter whether you play a 0-8 team or you play an 8-0 team, you're still facing John Tyler High School. So as long as you go out there and you play to beat yourself, then you're pretty much going to have the success that you want to have.
All right, what does NAC do?
NAC, offensively, they're a spread team. They like to pass the ball around. Defensively, they play a solid front. And the secondary is young, but they're very talented. So you go out there, you try to match them up with our skilled guys, and you just let them go out there and let them play football.
I remember they had one really talented kid playing quarterback, I think. Did they not last year?
Yeah.
Is he still there?
I don't know if it's the same kid or not. Looking at film, it looked like that kid had moved to receiver.
Okay.
And then the quarterback kind of reminds me of him, so I'm not sure if he changed his number or whatever it was.
But, you talk about, I know in the NFL they talk about trap games. Forget all that. You're just worried about, let's take care of John Tyler.
That's right.
The rest of this stuff will take care of itself.
That's right. And then you don't ever have to worry about going up and down with your teams because you're playing somebody who you think is inferior to you, or you're playing somebody who you think is about as good as you are.
Right.
As long as you do what you're supposed to do to take care of what you're supposed to take care of, which is yourself, then you don't have to worry about who you face. And I got that from Chip Kelly at Oregon. He always talked about facing the faceless team. And he said that is the reason why Oregon is able to do what they're able to do, whether they're playing somebody who's inferior or they're playing somebody who's supposed to be better than them.
Don't worry about that.
They play at the same level all the time. And that's what I'm trying to get these kids to understand.
Injury-wise, you're as healthy as knock on wood, not trying to jib, but knock on wood. Yeah. This is for 8 games into the season. You're in pretty good shape right now,
and that comes with the way that we practice. We go out there. I'm not trying to wear their bodies down. I'm trying to get out there, get good quality work in, make sure we understand what we're supposed to be doing, and then get out of there so that they can rest, get their homework done, and, enjoy this time because, like I said, it's not going to last forever.
It's time to have some fun, too, isn't it? You want to win. And that's part of it. You can win and have fun at the same time, too, can't you?
Win, have fun, and be excited about what you do. And that's what this game of football is all about. Having fun, being excited, and winning some football games. And if you're winning, it's going to be fun and it's going to be exciting.
Right. This program has been in this spot before. You're trying to win a district championship with bigger goals. Does that help? Having been around this before, for multiple years, for you having played on a state championship football team at John Tyler, does that make the process easier?
Oh, because
you're dealing with new kids all the time.
Yeah, but they understand that it's been done before and it can be done again. And as long as, like I say, we continue to do what we're doing from start to finish, that goal is very obtainable for us. Very obtainable.
They know the history too, don't they?
They know the history. It's filled up in our trophy cases.
Oh yeah.
I done a rearrangement with the trophies and put everything in chronological order to show them the progressive deal as what we did, what we done.
Did you leave a spot there for them? You leave a little space?
Most definitely. I started our spot off with the 2012 Red Bull Championship.
All right.
Started with that. Then I have our first classic football in there. And then I have Greg 2 awards that he won from American State Bank and Built Ford Tough. So plan on adding on to that.
Well, I'm one of the guys that helps with the American State Bank thing, and I'm thinking Tyus Bowser might be at least a candidate. To have to consider him this week.
Most definitely.
All right, good luck this week, Coach.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
The Lions and the Nac Dragons coming up in Nachodoches on Friday night. It's an hour-and-a-half drive down to Nachodoches, but well worth it because the Lions deserve and need your support. Kickoff 7:30 on Friday night. For Coach Holmes, I'm Bill Coates. Thanks for joining us.